Hello everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Expo. So, I've been wondering lately, I used to tell myself I would never own a white car, I would never buy a white car, but I think I've changed my mind. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Everyday Expo. Before we start, I'd like to thank Circle BMW for allowing us to review this beautiful car. Circle BMW is a family-owned and operated dealership who have been around for 36 years. With their excellent inventory and unbeatable services, Circle BMW is definitely a place all of you don't want to miss out on. Their website and social media links will all be down below in the description, so don't forget to check them out. So just as an overview, this is the 2018 BMW X3 30i. This car is all-wheel drive. It's a 4-door SUV. This car has a passenger capacity of 5, and its curb weight is 4,100 pounds. This car is also classified as an SSUV, a small sport utility vehicle. Alrighty guys, so to start, I thought I would show you guys the window sticker here on the side of the car. So we're going to go take a look at that, and I wanted to be able to show you guys the different packages in the car here because it's a lot to remember, and it's better to show you guys all the different options here. So there's a little reflection coming off from the sky here, so I'm going to try and put my hand over, see if you guys can see. You have the convenience package, driving assistance package, premium package, all that good stuff, and all the different options here on the car, sports seats. And the suggested retail price is $53,495. Let's start with the front of the car here for the exterior. So this car is the Alpine White. It's a clear coat paint. And taking a look at the hood is pretty much straight. Just have some curves here and there. And moving to the front of the car here, we have our BMW badge. We have our aluminum grille. We also have parking sensors here on the bottom. And taking a look at our headlights here, these are directionally adaptive. These are the BMW LED headlights. They look really sharp. We just had them on, and you'll see them later in the test drive. And taking again a look at the front bumper here, they do add some secondary colors here, so it kind of contrasts with the Alpine White and gives it a really sharp look. So something that has changed from the previous model to this model of the X330i, the headlights used to come straight into the grille here and it would kind of close in, but now there's a little bit of sheet metal in between, so it's kind of like an upgraded look, gives it a pretty nice look. And let's move on to the tires here. So these are P245's 19-inch rims here, and that is because these have the upgraded packages. Usually it would be P225s and 18-inch wheels here on the car. And if you take a look at the rims here, we got the BMW badge in the middle, and we have our silver machine accented rims here. And we do have a black wheel well trim going throughout the bottom of the car, and that goes for all 4 wheels. And we do have this little metal insert panel here for the diffuser vent. And right below that we have our X-Drive 30i badge. So moving on to the side of the car, we'll take a look at the side mirrors here. So these are two-tone. We have the Alpine White and a nice jet black here going on the bottom. There's your signal indicators on the side of the mirrors. Definitely a sharp look to the car. And we have an aluminum side trim for the side windows here. Your door handles are body colored. And again, going to talking about how this model is different from previous ones, the lines on the sides of the car are a little more pronounced than on previous models, so that definitely gives it a nice look. And let's make our way to the back. Before moving on to the back, I just wanted to mention this car does come with the roof rack rails, and the length of the side of the car is about 186 inches. So moving on to the back of the car here, we do have a little rear spoiler, lip spoiler up here, whatever you want to call it, with our third brake light. You also have deep tinted glass on the back and side windows here. You have your LED brake lights. You have your BMW badge and your X3 badge. And this car also features a dual stainless steel exhaust with a chrome tailpipe finisher. If we can get a little zoom in on that over there. We will be doing a little rev clip later, so you guys will get to hear that. So overall, the back, it does have some definitive lines and some curves coming in here, so I do like the design of the back of the car here. So since we're already at the rear of the car, I thought we would take a look at the trunk space here. So again, this is a lift gate that has a power lift gate here, so open right there, and we do have a decent amount of cubic feet back here. Here are your floor mats that would come with the car. You have a roll-up cargo cover here. You do have these clips on the side here. That's a pretty cool feature that me and my cameraman just discovered. And on the side we have a storage compartment with a cargo net there and a little bit more on the side. And also we do have a little bit of concealed storage there that comes right up. Usually down here would be a spare tire mobility kit, all that fun stuff. So overall, decent amount of space here in the rear. So just as a quick side note, before we move on, I just wanted to mention this car does have the trailer hitch. I don't know if you guys had seen that in the video before. I kind of forgot to mention that, but that is an extra option included in the premium package. And I also forgot to mention the backup camera right here above the license plate. So I just wanted to mention quickly the gas cap cover here. So you just have to push on it, and there's no button inside the car or on the key. The gas attendant, or if you don't live in Jersey, you don't pump your own gas, but it just comes right up and you push it right back in. No buttons, no hassle or anything like that. Alright guys, so moving on to the engine bay, my favorite part of the car. Here's the lever below the left of the steering wheel. Just pull that. You have to pull it twice, and then the hood will go up. So we'll get that up and be right back. Let's take a look at what powers this X330i here. So what you're looking at is a 2-liter twin power turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine. BMW rates it at about 248 horsepower and about 258 pound-feet of torque. And the full specs will be on the screen. Alrighty, so on a side note, the fuel economy on this car is very good. It gets about 29 on the highway and 22 in the city, and also features a 17.2 gallon fuel tank. So before we get into the interior, I thought I would show you the key fob quickly. So you have your unlock, lock, trunk release, and panic alarm. Alright, so getting into the interior here, we're going to start on the driver's side. This is the black Vernaska leather. Let's start with the driver door here. So we have a leatherette door trim insert. We have a little bit of accent stitching going around the car. We have our mirror and windows options, and also a trunk release right there. We have a little wood insert panel here along the top. Your memory settings for the seats, your lock, unlock, and a good storage compartment and bottle holder here on the driver's side door. Okay, so let's take a look here on the driver's side. Right here, getting into the car, you see you have the X-Line little badge here. And here we have the seats. Again, this is the black Vernaska leather. Everything on the seat is adjustable. The headrests are adjustable, everything like that. You have some accent stitching going along. I've sat in it before a couple of minutes ago, and it really has a good amount of support for your back and shoulder. And taking a look under the steering wheel here, you have your driver footrest right on the left, your pedals, and where your floor mat would be, which those we showed in the trunk. If you want to take a look at that, go rewind. So I thought we would start from the left of the steering wheel here. So taking a look, you have your headlight options. You have your fade to off for the interior lighting. And right above that, you have this little wood insert panel and the vent for the driver. So let me just hand the camera back there. So let's take a look at this steering wheel. A lot of the BMWs come with the same steering wheel, but it is very nice. It's all leather wrapped. You have a little metal aluminum panel in there. There's the button for the heated steering wheel. And on the left of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control options, and on the right, you have your volume and media settings. You also have some paddle shifters here in the car. They do have a nice look to them in the back. And to the left behind the steering wheel, you have your blinker options, and to the right, you have your window wiper options. Alrighty, so let's start with the instrument cluster here behind the steering wheel. To the left, you would have your fuel level, then you would have your speedometer, tachometer, and your oil temp. We'll show you everything when the car is turned on. We'll also attempt to show you the full color heads-up display here, depending on if the camera will pick it up or not. I know some YouTubers do have a problem with that. And let's start with the center console here and all these buttons. Up here you have your LCD monitor screen with your iDrive infotainment system, and you have the push to start here for the engine and the auto start stop feature for the engine button, which you can turn on and off. You have your hazards, you have 2 vents here for the driver and the passenger, and below that you have your radio settings right here. The power button for the radio, and also below that you have your dual zone climate controls for the driver and the passenger with heated seats included, and everything does come up in the electronic screen, which we'll show you in a bit. So let's start with the center console here. Right here you have the X3 badge, and this thing rolls up and you have a USB, you have 2 cup holders and some storage for your phone or whatever else. And over here we have our 8-speed automatic transmission, the gear shifter for that transmission. This car also has the paddle shifters. And to the left of that you have your traction control and the controls for the different modes, Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. And you have your parking options below that. You have this nice wood insert panel going through the center console. Over here to the right I meant. And you also have your touchpad for the entertainment screen and the infotainment screen, which we'll take a look at later. And let's take a look at this center armrest. You have a little bit of white accent stitching going around. It's very comfortable with the leather. There's a button there. You push that up, and you have a decent amount of storage with a little light in there. Let's take a look on the passenger side of the car. So pretty much the same setup as the driver's side, but less buttons and controls. And you do have this storage compartment and bottle holder. You have a little strip of ambient lighting going around, and you can see the accent stitching, and also you can see the sound system. The sound system in this car is the hi-fi sound system. And let's take a look at the passenger side here. Can you have the X-Line badge getting into the car? You have the same controls for the passenger seat as you did the driver. And let's take a look into the glove department here. Let's get into the rear seats here. I'm going to take a seat, and sitting in here, there is a decent amount of leg room. You have some storage pockets here for the passengers. Same setup as you would for the passenger up there, just a smaller size door. And if we could take a look here in the center of the rear here, you do have some climate controls for the rear passengers and a little 12-volt port down there. And these seats are pretty comfortable. You get a good view of the sunroof, moonroof, and you do have some reading light options right here and a little handle. And also these are 40-20-40 real split seats, so they can go down for more room in the trunk if you need. Alrighty, so let's turn this X3 on here, and let's take a look at the instrument cluster. Everything is electronic on here. Again, you have your fuel temperature, speedometer, tachometer, all that good stuff. The bottom left, it tells you the speed limit and how many miles till empty, and in the bottom right is your mode. You got a little message center in there. And I'm going to take the camera here and attempt to show the heads-up display. I don't know if that can, you guys can kind of see that all the way down there at the bottom of the hood. It is blurry, but there is full color heads-up display here, and when you're on the road and using the traffic part of it, it'll show you, the directions, where to go, all that type of good stuff. Next here, let's take a look at the infotainment screen here. So you have the touchpad down here with all the different buttons here. It's very simple, easy to use. I've had it in many of my videos. You have your media, radio. Let's go to the menu here. So you have media, radio, communication, navigation, all that good stuff. Owner's manual is electronically put on here, all that type of good stuff. You have the My Vehicle settings, notifications. You can have your phone hooked up here, Bluetooth, iPod, whatever you guys need. So let's take a look below that. We have our climate control settings, and again, those had the electronic screen on it, so now that the car is on, you can see it. And last but not least, let's take a look towards the roof here. We have our vanity mirrors, and those are illuminated for the driver and the passenger. And next to that, we have our reading lights and our BMW teleservices button here. So if you need the emergency services, you can press that button. And we have our sunroof and moonroof, which is included with the packages on this car. And the rear view mirror is also auto dimming, daytime, nighttime. Alrighty everyone, so now on to the test drive portion of this car. Today, Circle BMW, we're lucky enough they're letting us test drive the X330i. And today here I have with me Giuseppe. How you doing? Hi. And he works marketing and IT over here at Circle BMW. So let's get started. Alrighty guys, so we're out on the test drive, and I thought we would start with him telling us a little bit about the car and how it drives. We've been driving it for a little while now, and we're going to be out on the road for a little bit, so I'll let him take it away.
Right, so in this new X3 we have a really commanding feel of the road. We're sitting pretty high, and even though this is a bigger X3 than the previous model, it doesn't feel that big on the road. A very soft ride, it's smooth, yet even in the corners you don't have much body roll. So you're not losing any of the characteristics that you would normally come to expect from a BMW. So it's still a very sporty ride, even though it's very comfortable. We're not moving right now, but I'm sure that you will notice that as we pick up some speed when we get out of this traffic here, the interior of the X3 is extremely quiet. Our X5 model is actually the quietest SUV on the road, and you can see that the X3 will also be one of the more quiet vehicles that we have. So they really paid attention to the driving experience in this vehicle. And it's just a really great car to drive. It's commanding, you feel safe, you have standard X-Drive, so you can really get through anything, and you really never feel like you're underpowered, even with this with the 4-cylinder engine. You know, people say, oh, it's got a 4-cylinder engine, so it must be slow, but that is definitely not the case. Alright, so let's talk about some of the safety features in the new X3. This vehicle actually has active blind spot detection, so you will see in the side mirrors that if someone's in your blind spot, a orange triangle will light up. If you then try to merge and still go in that lane, you'll get a warning in the steering wheel. It will vibrate. You also have lane departure warning, which does the same thing. It looks at the lane markers in the road and attempts to keep you in your lane so you don't sway. So BMWs are really just trying to keep us safe. This car actually also has a collision mitigation system, so there are 2 cameras that are constantly watching the road ahead of you. If you're approaching a vehicle too quickly, it gives you a warning. If needed, will intervene with the brakes. And I do believe that at 25 miles an hour, it will come to a complete stop. This vehicle also has pedestrian warning. So if you're driving, say you're down by the beach one day, there's a lot of people on the streets and all, you're gonna get a warning if it detects that a pedestrian may enter your lane. So it will also brake for you there. So BMW's really come a long way with the safety. It's an IIHS top safety pick, and I'm sure BMW is really proud to put this car out on the road for us.
Alrighty guys, so before we end this video, big thanks to Circle BMW for letting us not only review this car, but give it a test drive today. And all their social media links will be down in the description. Don't forget to check them out. And here on Everyday Espo, we have a lot coming up. We have a lot of new videos coming up, a lot of exciting stuff. So make sure to stay tuned, hit the subscribe button and the little bell button below to keep updated when we upload a video. Anyways guys, have a nice day. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.